Now we are going to talk about the unpacking iterables. But before we talk about the iterables, let's talk about tuples, right? So to create a tuple, we just need to use, so we always see that to create a tuple, we use this simple bracket, the small bracket, and then we pass the value and separate it with a comma. This is how a tuple is created, right? Then when we check a tuple, so then like when we check the type of a, it is a tuple now. Again, actually you do not need these brackets. You can also do this way, like we are saying that a equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3. This is a tuple now. When we check type of a, it's a tuple now. In fact, we do not even need these bracket to create a tuple, but we need a comma, like over this we need a comma. Again, to understand this, let's create a tuple like this. So here we are saying that a equal to, in the bracket we are passing 1 without single comma. If I do though, this will not work. This is not a tuple, this is an integer now. Now, to create a tuple, we need a comma. So here in the bracket, after 1, we are passing a comma. Now this will create a tuple. So we do not even need this bracket. We can even do so. A equal to 1 comma. This will create a tuple, right? So it is the only exception that if you have to create an empty tuple, you have to call this way, a equal to, then you pass the parenthesis. This is a tuple, or you can use a constructor to call a tuple. So here we are using a constructor or a function. Some people say function. So here we're saying a is tuple. So this is a tuple now, and then when we check the type, this is a tuple now, right? Now let's talk about the unpacking. So it is a way to split the iterable object into the individual variables, right? So here we're saying that L equal to, in the bracket, 1 2 3 4. This is a list. We can unpack each value by assigning this way. Here we're saying a comma b comma c comma d equal to L. So all the value of L, like 1 2 3 4, will be assigned to these variables respectively. So A will hold 1, B will hold 2, C will hold 3, D will hold 4. We can print this. So strings are also iterable. We can even unpack these strings too, right? Now let's talk about how to swap two variables. But before we talk about the Pythonic way, let's talk about the traditional technique where the other languages uses, like the Java uses. Consider that we have these two variable A and the B. A holds 10, B holds 20, right? Now here we're trying to print the value of A and B. So to swap the value of A, so swapping means we want the A should hold 20 and B should hold 10. We want to swap this variable. This is how we use in a Java. We first create a temporary variable which hold the value of A. And then we assign the value of A to B value. So then like we assign the value of B to A. And then again we swap the value of B with the temp which was holding the A value. So this is a technique where we use to swap the variable's value, right? But now using unpacking, we can simplify this. We can say that, like let's say that here we have n as A as 10, B as 20, and now we're saying A comma B equal to B comma A. Simply we can say that. And this is how we swap the value. In fact, we do not even need to separate these assignment. We do not even need to assign these variables separately. We can even do so. A comma B is 10 comma 20 and A comma B is B comma. We can do this too, right? We can even unpack the unordered object. So again, dictionary and set both are unordered object. So let's create a dictionary. Let's see the dictionary. So this is how we have created dictionary. Right, now let's try to print these values. So here we are seeing that Python, this is the key ordered we have seen. So to unpack each value, we can simply say A comma B comma C comma D comma E comma E, and then we'll pass this dictionary because this holds these value. So all the variable will hold this respective value. Same thing it applies to the set. Here we have the set. Set is also the unordered list. So it is an unordered data. We can print S. So this is the unordered. And we can print the value of set. This is the value of set, and we can unpack in this format. We can do so, and then we can print the value. So this is how unpacking work with the iterable object. Thank you.